Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am limitless, boundless conscious energy masquerading as a human being named Mercedes Alexis. In today's video, God told me to talk to y'all about how consciousness is the only reality and therefore the only place where you can ever actually receive anything. Consciousness is the only reality, is the only life, and the 3D is but a shadow of consciousness. There is nothing within the 3D, it is only a reflection. Just as we see things upon a mirror, but we know that those things do not exist within the mirror. The mirror is only reflecting what is projected onto it. We see things upon the 3D, but those things do not exist within the 3D. The 3D is only reflecting what is projected onto it from consciousness, the actual reality. The 3D is not a place, it is a screen. It is not a reality, it is a reflection. Though it appears that life is happening within the 3D, life is happening within consciousness. And the 3D is a playback of what already was. Consciousness is the present. Consciousness is the now. And the 3D is the past. The 3D is an echo. So take no thought for the world. Take no thought for what is, because it is actually the past. It is actually an echo. It is actually only as real as you make it by giving your attention and power away to it, because you are the only real thing. Consciousness is the only real thing. It is your work to give your attention to consciousness, to give your attention to God, to the truth. Everything is one, everything is present. Instead of giving your attention and power to the illusory separation of the 3D and making it real. Stop focusing on the 3D and start focusing on God. Because according to God, what we want is what we focus on. What we want is what we are aware of. That is what we are telling God that we want. That is what we are giving God to fulfill. So, according to God, everyone is getting what they want. God is fulfilling for everyone equally. According to God, no one is lacking. According to God, there is no lack, because everyone is being fulfilled, because everyone is getting more of what they are focusing on, more of what they are aware of. So if you are only ever focusing on the world, if you are only ever aware of the world, which is a reflection of what was, of what you once believed, of what you once imagined, of what you once expected, then you are only ever allowing God to fulfill more of what you already believed, more of what you already imagined, more of what you already expected. Our work is to focus on God, to focus on consciousness, which is perfect, whole, and present everywhere, despite any appearances, beyond all illusions of separation. God is everything. Everything is God. But it is our work to remember that, to remember that everything is God, that everything is one, that everything is done from the foundation of the world. Of course, people ask how. How can I focus on perfection when I have to deal with and figure out life within the world, which isn't perfect? And my response is by practicing actual faith, by believing God more than you believe anything more than you believe in lack, more than you believe in separation, more than you believe in what you can see, more than you believe in what is. That is actual faith. As it says in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That is actual faith. To lean not on your own understanding, to lean not on what you can see, to lean not on what others can agree with, but to trust in the Lord with all your heart, no matter what is happening within the world. Because everything within the world changes. Everything within the world is temporary, but God never changes. God is constant. God is eternal. God is everything. God is the solution. God is the fulfillment. God is the supply. And as we know, God is consciousness. So consciousness is the solution. Consciousness is the fulfillment. Consciousness is the supply. And as we know, consciousness is I am. So I am is the solution. I am is the fulfillment. I am is the supply. Your awareness of being is your solution. Your awareness of being is your fulfillment. Your awareness of being is your supply. But it is your work to know that and to look to it and only it, to look to your consciousness and only your consciousness and not to anything outside of you, because there is nothing outside of you. You are the only life. You are the reality. But it is your work to remember that, to be aware of being that, instead of being aware of being a separate individual human being within the world who needs to figure out solutions, who is looking for fulfillment, who needs to find supply outside of themselves. It is our work to see beyond those illusions of separation, to see beyond those illusions of lack, and to know the truth of God, which never changes, because God never changes. No matter what the reflection, the echo, the screen that is the 3D is showing, God is always the same. God is always one. God is always whole. God is always everything. You are never separate from God. You are never outside of the fullness that is God. Nothing is. There is nothing beside God. God is everything. But false beliefs of separation cause reflections of illusory separation. It is our work to know that everything is one, that everything is God, that there is no separation. Everything is within God. Everything is within consciousness. There is nothing within the world. There is nothing within the 3D. It is a reflection. It is an echo. It is constantly changing. Nothing within it is constant. Nothing within it is promised. Everything is conditional. Everything is temporary. So you can never truly have anything within the 3D because it is constantly changing. The 3D can give you nothing. You must give yourself your desires in consciousness by focusing on your desires, by being more aware of your desires than you are of what is, than you are of the world. because that is how you tell God that you want God to fulfill your desires instead of fulfilling more of what is. By focusing more on your desires, by being more aware of your desires, because your awareness of being is what creates. Your awareness of being is what is being fulfilled. You can only receive from your awareness of being. You can only receive from consciousness. As it says in John 3:27, a person can receive nothing except it be given from heaven. Heaven is your consciousness. Heaven is your awareness of being. So you can receive nothing except you receive it from your consciousness, except you receive it from your awareness of being. Because consciousness is the only actual source. Consciousness is the only actual reality. Because consciousness is eternal. Consciousness is constant. Consciousness is unconditional. So that is why you can receive nothing unless you receive it within consciousness, because only the things of consciousness are eternal. Only the things of consciousness are constant. Only the things of consciousness are unconditional. Only the things of consciousness are not dependent on or affected by anything. That is why we must give ourselves the things that we want in consciousness. That is what is meant by you must lay up your treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. It is our work to lay up our treasures in heaven, where they are eternal, where they are unconditional, instead of trying to lay up our treasures in the world, in the 3D, where everything is temporary, where everything is conditional, where everything is changing. It is our work to lay up our treasures in consciousness, to lay up our treasures in God. Because where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Where you believe your treasure is where you will serve. If you believe that your treasures are within the temporary conditional world, then you will have to serve the temporary conditional world. But if you know that your treasures are within God, then you will serve God. It is our work to know that our treasures are within God, to know that our treasures are unconditional, to know that our treasures are given through grace, not through effort, not through effort within the 3D, but through the grace that is given to us all from the only true source, God. Only God can give you anything. Only consciousness can give you anything. Only your awareness of being can give you anything, because it is the only source. It is the only life. It is the only reality. Thank you so much for watching. I trust that this video was helpful for you. Have an amazing day.